Hey guys, it's Doc, and today we're going to talk about killing weeds. We're going to talk about killing weeds and coming off the winter, going into spring, killing off some of these weeds. We're going to touch a little bit about pre-emergent. We're going to talk about calendar situations too, so hold on one sec. Hey guys, so today I'm standing in the sunshine because it's actually a little bit cold out here still. It's still in the 30s. But today I'm going to try and keep you from getting confused because what we're doing is really not what you should be doing this weekend or this 4-day period. We're kind of rushing into stuff so that we can shoot stuff on video and have it for you guys a little bit ahead of time. So before I begin, in the description below there's a link that takes you to a web page, and I'm going to have a bunch of resources on that web page. And what's going to be on that web page is going to have a lawn square footage calculator. It's going to have a weed identification on it. It's going to have product links to products that I'm talking about. It's going to have all kinds of resources on there. Instead of putting a whole bunch of links below this video, there's one link takes you to a web page on our website, and everything is there. So on that web page is going to be a link to the Bermuda grass calendar and the Bermuda lawn guide. And what we're telling you to do this year is to have you have a couple basic steps. And here's the basic steps. You're coming off winter. The first thing you're going to do is probably do the Jump Start program and the weed killing. So what's the Jump Start program? Important. The Jump Start program is not a fertilizer program for your lawn or your grass. The Jump Start program is a soil correction program or soil enhancement program. So when our lawns wake up in 6 to 8 weeks and start to grow, what are they waking up into? They're waking up into heavy soil that has a little bit of nutrient and has biochar and humic acid inside of it. So part of the Jump Start program is, if you can get a soil test done, get a soil test done. Mine was low on phosphorus, so I'm coming out here. Most people can just use a cheap 10-10-10 and put out a light coat of 10-10-10. You know, half a pound or 1 pound per 1,000 square feet of a 10-10-10, and then put down humichar, and all that will work into the soil. And when your grass wakes up in 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to wake up into a much better soil environment. Fertilizing your lawn comes later. We're not going to fertilize until our lawn temperatures really come up and we actually want to fertilize it and sort of push that growth. So there's a big difference. So that's step number one, the quick start, and that's in the Bermuda Lawn Guide. It talks about that. Step number two is sort of coming out here and dealing with the weeds that we have from the winter. So I only really deal with poana, but there are some broadleaf weeds around on the yards that I have to take care of. So I'll be mixing up some treatments and talking about that. So then we would go ahead and we would kill that. The next step after that, which is coming up here pretty soon, is putting down your pre-emergents. And of course we put down a granular pre-emergent first. That goes out. And in the last video I talked about, real important, understanding not putting it down on saturated soils. And that's why we're doing all this weekend. It's because we got 5 days without rain and we got some sunshine. So you put down your granular pre-emergent and you let that sit, and then of course we'd go into the scalping of the lawn and we'll get into the aeration, different things like that. So that's kind of the steps. It's all outlined in the Bermuda Lawn Guide. There's a calendar, everything's on there. Okay, so I'm using my Pro spreader today. This is the Anderson's Pro spreader. If you want a real good spreader that has the big pneumatic wheels on it that handles the bumps real easy, I think I'll put a link to the AgriFab that I like. That's about $150, $140 or something. But today I'm going with the big beast today. This is the Pro level model. And then the humichar, this is the first bag of humichar ever released, and I actually got 2 of them. So this should be available on Amazon pretty soon. But I figure what I do is I go ahead and put out my humichar, since I'm going to be spraying on top of it anyways. Why not put it out and let it get some of the nutrients, because I'm going to be adding some extra phosphorus in it, so why not do it? It's humichar. Beautiful. Now this is a mix. This is close to a 50-50 mix of humic acid and biochar. Now it's in the DG particle form, And what that means is as soon as water touches it, I mean like 30 seconds, these particles disperse into thousands of tiny subparticles. So that's the humichar. One of the nice things about putting out humichar is when I'm putting out fertilizer, I'm always worried about overlapping and doing too much. With humichar, remember there are no nutrients inside of humichar. It's a soil conditioner. And so you can't put it out too heavy. I mean, you could literally go over your lawn 4 times with this stuff. There's nothing that can burn it or harm it. Matter of fact, the more you put out, the better it is. The other thing is of course the girls can be out here because it's completely safe. Yes, it's certified organic, and it's basically it's humic acid and biochar. That's all it is. So I do this all the time. He ate the humichar. Did you see him? He ate that humichar. It's perfectly safe. There's nothing in it that's harmful. So kids, dogs, whatever. That's really where we're kind of going with this product, in that you know, this is sort of a long-term investment where, unlike a fertilizer, when you put it out after 6 to 8 weeks, its usefulness is gone. This product, the biochar in this product, will last decades and decades in your lawn, if not hundreds of years. So what we'll eventually do is we'll stop putting fertilizer, we'll reduce that fertilizer down, and the only thing we'll have to put out probably in about 2 years is organic matter and a little bit of humichar. That's it. A tiny bit of fertilizer in the spring, maybe a little in the fall, but we're going to really reduce down the amount of fertilizers we're using through the use of humichar and organic matter. That's where we're going with this. But again, you can put it out as heavy as you want, put it out as often as you want, put it out with anything else. Humichar, anytime, any amount, doesn't matter. Get that straight. I have to keep explaining that to people. Whew. Well, I can tell you I'm not cold anymore. Pretty heavy coat in the back, heavy coat in the front. All the sidewalk areas, I sprinkle it by hand, those little strips. Then I went back to the front and I put out a second layer on the front. So I did the front twice. I got a little bit left, so I'm going to come back and do my main back area too. Like I said, the more humichar you put down, the better. There's no negative results from putting down too much. You put it down real heavy. So anyways, and then we'll move on to mixing the spray. Okay guys, so now I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to spray on the lawn. And let me just talk to you real quick about the square footage. There's a map on the website that you can actually go on there and draw, put in your address and then draw it around. It'll tell you how many square feet you have. So my front is about 6,000 square feet. My back is about 13,000 square feet. So I'm about 18,000 square feet. Barb has 13,000 square feet. The world's worst front, 5,200. The side and the new patch over here is 7,000. That comes out to about 45,000 square feet. So with all the edges and sidewalks and little details, I'm probably getting close to 50,000 square feet. So here's what you need to understand if you're going to use a hose end sprayer. Okay, so if you're going to use a hose end sprayer, these are the new bottles from Anderson's, and these are the bottles I helped them choose. We tested it. It's a 20-to-1 ratio, and so it comes out a little bit heavier than the old ones and doesn't clog as much. Almost no clogging. So what we do is we mix our super juice and anytime we spray something, we mix it, we screen it. I put it in a tea pitcher. This is a screen, a little mesh screen. There's a link on the website on the product link page. And then I use I use a tea pitcher to fill my bottles. At a normal walk rate, this is the part that always confuses people. So at a normal walk rate, as I'm going along, one bottle of this I can cover about 2,000 square feet. So if you have 10,000 square feet of lawn, how many bottles do you need? You need 5 of these bottles. 5 times 2,000 is 10,000 square feet. Now, to make 5 bottles worth, since they're a quart each, you need 1 gallon and 1 quart. That's the amount of liquid. So that's about the amount of water. And then you would add the appropriate amount of chemicals. So example, if you had 10,000 square feet and this product required 1 ounce per 1,000 square feet, you would put 10 ounces into that mix. So you have 1 gallon and a quart of hot water. Mix in 10 ounces of this for 10,000 square feet. You will then have 5 bottles. You can go out and spray your lawn. That's the easiest way to do it. The nice thing about using this system is, as you can see, I can combine anything I want. And let me tell you what I'm going to be putting out today. I always use the green dye, and the green dye just tells you, mainly, we don't use it for marking so much, although we do. At this time I'll put a little heavier so I can see where I'm spraying. It simply tells you, is my bottle spraying? How many times have you been out with a hose end sprayer and you're like, this isn't coming out, or is it really coming out? The green spray lets you know that's coming out. People always use too much of this. I'm warning you, don't use too much of this. It's like a tablespoon per gallon. That's all you want to put in. Image, 1 bottle of Image concentrate treats 6,000 square feet. So I'm going to have 6 bottles. That's expensive. 2,4-D. 2,4-D. This is my This is for grass, for poana, the grassy weeds, and for my onion. This will treat all my broadleaf weeds. And the rate on that, I wrote it down. I need about, for an acre, I need about 3 pints. So I need 3 pints of this for an acre. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some super juice to it, since I put my humichar down. I always like to start this base with super juice. I'll put maybe 4 or 5 cups in each bucket. I'm mixing 2 buckets. Then I've got to add some phosphorus. The easiest way is just to find something that you can put in a liquid form. This is a Bloom Booster, and this is a 105210. So it's real high in phosphorus. So this is over 50% phosphorus. And I think this is 4 pounds, so that's about 2 pounds. So I'm going to be adding some extra phosphorus. That's mainly the only thing my soil and all these soils were lacking was phosphorus. So I'm trying to bump up a little bit. That's about it. Now I do have, someone was asking about the liquid pre-emergent we use after the granular later on. This is Dimension. And while this bottle is expensive, I think it's like $140. I think this one bottle treats 2 acres. So if you have a small lawn, you'll have this for several years. So it may seem expensive, but it goes a long way. That's pretty much it. I'm going to put it in hot water, mix it up. I need a lot of bottles. I need to treat 45,000 square feet. I need 23 bottles. I need a lot of hose. I've got like 300, 400 feet of hose. I'm going to have to mix up, spray 23 bottles to get all these lawns covered. It's a lot of spraying, it's a lot of work. It's almost 6 gallons of concentrate I got to mix up. This is super juice. This bag is actually, what, 2 years old. A little bit clumpy. That's fun. Broadleaf weed killer. I need 3 pints. This is 2 pints, and then I have 1 more pint over here. And lastly, the Image goes in. So, here's where I take my bottles. Make sure there's a black washer in there. This is where you definitely want to have gloves on because this can get a little messy. Always put something underneath here. I've got a bucket lid. Put a towel, a bucket lid or something. Put something underneath here too to catch any drips. Alright, so one little tip for you. When you get your, if you use these spray bottles, see that little piece right there? That's annoying as hell. You have to keep pushing this tab over. So I go in here and I cut off that tab, and that way the nozzle will turn freely without having to push that little safety thing over. God, that's annoying. Alright. Man, I'm exhausted. I'll tell you what. Alright, so I did my whole front yard and this strip over here. I did the entire across the street area. I did a little bit of barbs, and then I said it's getting late. I better come do my backyard because I really want to kill. You can see, I really didn't put out a whole bunch of pre-emergent this fall because I wasn't worried about it. But I've got a bunch of spots of poana, but I left that intentionally so I could show you what this does. So today, I'm spraying kind of slow, and normally these things will give you, if you just do a good walking pace, about 2,000 square feet. I'm only getting maybe about 1,500 square feet per bottle, just so you know what I'm doing. And I'm getting hot. I got on all these warm fleece gear, and it was cold, and now I'm hot, so whatever. Welcome to my life. Okay, I stopped spraying for a minute to show you this about the humichar, which is really cool. So, and just so you know, it doesn't stain cement, it just creates the pellets kind of explode. But look at this. This is like 1 minute after spraying. See it? Look at that. Isn't that cool? And what it's doing now, and this is where I said, everyone says you need to preload your... Look, dude. It's going to turn into microscopic particles, and it's going to pick up whatever's in this thatch layer. It's going to pick up the nutrients. It's going to pick up my extra phosphorus. Heck, it'll even pick up a little bit of the pre-emergent in there and carry it down in. That's fine with me. But see what I mean? That's like 1 minute after spraying. So cool. Man, I'll tell you what. I'm exhausted. So it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm all done. Man, my legs are sore. I'm tired. Monday, this is Saturday, and Monday, Jacob's coming back out. What we're going to do is we're going to put out our granular products. So I'll shoot the granular products. I'll have the fertilizer we put out for the soil correction. I'll have the pre-emergent, and of course today I already did the humichar. So we'll do those two things. And that was it, guys. So it's a real simple way. Now you can just use a backpack sprayer, which is what I'm going to use for the front entrance. I have an electric backpack sprayer, and I mix up a backpack sprayer just to go up there and apply with a backpack sprayer. But this is a really easy way to do this. Again, you mix up the amount of concentrate you need, and you apply all that concentrate to your lawn. It's a simple formula. It's not that complicated if you take the time to understand it. It goes out real fast. You get a nice even coverage, and that's about it. So click that subscribe button, and we'll see you Monday. Well, probably Tuesday or Wednesday with the video. And that's about it. Talk to you later. Doc.